All right, we're going to continue with our media availabilities this afternoon, and we've now been joined by Kyle Busch, driver of the number 18 Skittles Toyota, as I'm sure you saw in his entrance into the media center. But Kyle, a really big week for you. You had the opportunity to climb back behind the wheel of the race car last week, and then obviously had the birth of your son this week, I believe on Monday. So just talk a little bit about the week in general and what it's like to be a new dad.
It's been really fun. You know, a lot of different experiences here. I mean, some new, some old, but you know, getting back in the race car first and foremost last weekend was really good for me, for my team, just to kind of get a basis and learn some things and get a feel for everything. That was perfect for us. And then of course, you know, going in to the hospital on Monday and you know, Samantha giving birth to our son, that was pretty awesome. Just a remarkable experience. And I give her all the credit, obviously. She's done a phenomenal job. Eating all the right things and doing all the right things and staying healthy through the whole pregnancy. And obviously he's a big boy. So 7'10", you know, he's healthy and he's happy. Mama's happy. So I'm happy, of course. And you know, all's well. So just something you can't experience it until you do. And you know, a couple sleepless nights, but Samantha took over most graciously last night for me. And, you know, tonight's my night, so I can give her some rest. So all's good.
All right, we'll go ahead and take questions for Kyle. If you have one, please raise your hand and state your name and affiliation. We're going to start with Dustin, and then we'll go to Jared, and we'll keep going. Thank you.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. Kyle, with coming back, I just wonder about maybe if there were any challenges with the nuances of coming back into the car, and I almost wonder if one would be pit road, getting on off as quickly as you can, playing, you know, getting through the timing lines as quickly, since you haven't done any of that, and you really didn't have to do any of that really, other than the last pit stop last week. Is that something that is you have to work on, or is that something that came pretty easily Saturday, or you know, especially with all these different pits, the pit stops you'll have Sunday night?
No, I think all of that was pretty good. Coming on a pit road was okay. You know, being back in traffic when you're, you know, worse than 10th, the accordion effect seems to get pretty bad back there. So you kind of got to be really conscious of what's going on with everyone around or in front of you. And, you know, it gets kind of tight sometimes. But past that, you know, the time I was speeding on pit road, I was just trying to come around Kevin and get into my box as quick as I could. And it was just a little too quick on entry. Yeah, I got to get used to the ability of maintaining pit road speed to the tack and to the lights and everything that we use for how I do it. And you know, my tolerances are always pretty tight. So you know, I was a little shy last week of running those times as hard as I wanted to, which was fine. We weren't that far off on our report that we had this week. So that all looked good. But of course, there's a little bit of room for improvement, and that'll only get better as I get more used to the being back behind the wheel and the feelings of going down pit road and everything and all that. But coming to a stop in the box, everything there was good. All that was fine.
Okay. We'll
Greg Engel, Examiner.com. Congratulations, Dad.
Thank you.
Obviously, that's a big change for everybody. Nobody can prepare you, you know, say things to prepare you for when you first have that baby. Can you think about the time? Do you see a difference of a time before he was born and now that he's here? Is it like night and day? Are there big changes? Is it, or is it still, you know, business as usual? Or is it a whole new, different Kyle Busch now?
I don't know that I'm different, but it's a whole new world right now for sure. You know, it's an entirely different feeling, and you know, you wonder where the time goes already. You know, I was trying to get ready this morning, and Samantha was trying to get ready. She had to take him for an appointment and some other stuff, and you know, I'm trying to help out, and all of a sudden it's time for me to leave to come out here to the racetrack. I'm like, holy smokes, I got to get ready. I got to hurry up. You know, so that was different, but you know, it's way different than what it was before he was born. Obviously, Samantha was taking care of him. She was, you know, she had him in her, so just taking care of him that way, carrying him around, you know, I didn't have to worry about anything. I didn't have to feed him. I didn't have to change him or nothing like that, you know. But it's a whole different world now that he's here with having to take care of him. So we both got to spread our time, and you know, obviously when his favorite thing to do is make stinky diapers, then you know, you've certainly got your work cut out for you.
All right, we'll go to Jared.
Yeah, Jared Turner, FoxSports.com. Kyle,
I don't see you.
right here, Kyle.
I can't.
Here, buddy.
Got
Right
it.
there. Yeah. Yeah. Couple quick questions. Number one, how emotional, was the whole birth experience for you? And number two, what, if any, parenting advice have you already gotten from your fellow drivers who are dads?
It was emotional and physically taxing on me. I couldn't imagine what Samantha was going through. Obviously, I was there and trying to help her and coach her and be with her the entire time, and she did phenomenal. But for me, just working through that whole experience, was I can't even really put a word on it. I guess it was just an amazing feeling. But she's a champ. Samantha's my champion. No matter how well or how successful I ever am in my career, she's got the championship trophy already on her mantle. So it was awesome. But what was the second part of the question? Parenting advice. Yeah, I mean, I've gotten a lot of parenting advice from fans or from people that I work with or work around and race drivers and things like that. But I'd say the most common one is obviously your life's never going to be the same. And take and cherish as many moments as you can, because obviously they grow up fast. And sometimes people say, oh well, he's 4 weeks old, he's 6 weeks old. I think right now he's probably about 70 hours old, so we're on the hours already. We're counting up the hours. So it's pretty fun though. I mean, just the experience of it, you really can't explain until obviously you're one. And I've had a lot of advice from a lot of fellow drivers.
All right, we'll go to Woody, please. Right behind you. Thank you.
Kyle, nobody gets to the position you are without some help along the way, and I was curious, early in your career or even as you go along now, someone has been really instrumental in helping you get started and get to where you are.
Obviously my father. He's probably number one. Him and my mom just taking all of their resources and money and everything to help Kurt and I get farther along in our careers in Las Vegas through dwarf cars, legends cars, modifieds, whatever it was. Modifieds was about as far as we could go as a family. That was all we could afford. And then past that was Jerry Spilsbury. He used to own an air conditioning company back in Las Vegas, and he had a late model team out at the Speedway that at the year that I ran, it was a one-car team, and then the year I ran, we actually became a three-car team. So it was Jerry himself, and then another guy named Billy Newman, and then myself that raced those cars that year. And I think I finished third in the championship. I had to miss the first two races of the year because I wasn't 16 yet. My birthday wasn't till May. And then I had to miss another race when I ran out of gas in Chicago in the Camping World Truck Series race. That day, and we tried to fly back, but we couldn't get out because of weather in Chicago, so we couldn't make that race that night. So I missed three and still finished third in points. I think Billy was second, So we had a good year that year, but Jerry spent a lot of money, employed my father, and just allowed me to succeed in winning 10 of 15 late model races that year. We finished second in 3, finished third once, and broke a rear end gear in the other one while leading. So I mean, we were plenty fast, and through racing that car that year, I think a lot of people took notice that Kurt Busch's little brother back in Vegas was pretty good, and that's all history now.
All right, we're going to come up front to Tom, please.
Hey Kyle, Tom Jensen, FoxSports.com. I'm sure you've looked at the schedule. Kind of a two-part question. Do you have tracks that you're looking for between now and the end of the regular season that you think you have a particularly good shot at winning? And are you more concerned with getting a race victory in the next 15 races or making the top 30?
Yeah, I mean, we've looked at the schedule. I think it goes to say for every year, Dover's always a really good place for us. If I can get Jimmy Johnson to speed on pit road again in the last 50 laps of the race, I could probably win that thing, But Dover's been pretty good for us. Indy's been good for us some years. Watkins Glen especially, and then Richmond again. There's a lot of races in between that we're plenty confident we can run well at. We just have to. I've won at some of those places before. like Michigan, for instance. Bristol's in there, you know, so Darlington. I love going to Darlington. So all those places I feel like we can run well at. I'm probably most nervous of getting a race victory. You know, I know how hard it is to win these races in this series, and how there's no way I'm not determined to get out there and win a race. It's just a matter of putting all the pieces together and having a good night, and being able to accomplish that feat. But I feel like the top 30 is relatively achievable. I don't think it's going to be too hard. You know, there's no reason why I shouldn't average better than a 16th place finish. Joe Gibbs Racing is better than that. My race team is better than that, and I feel like I'm better than that. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to put ourselves in that position.
All right, we'll take our next question from Jeff Gluck, then we'll go to Mike Hembry, and up front to Kelly.
Jeff Gluck from USA Today. I'm wondering, where did the name Brexton come from, and are you hoping that he follows in your footsteps as a driver?
Well, Samantha and I, we were back and forth a lot on names. You know, we kind of tried to figure out whether we wanted to keep the initials KB or not, and we decided not to. I kind of liked, you know, her maiden name, Samantha Sarsanella, the SS, so we decided we'd go with the BB. And so then we just sort of started looking up some B names, and we just kind of put the pieces together and kind of made it up, you know. So that was pretty cool that we both agreed on it. You know, it came together pretty easy, actually. We've known for a long time, and whether he follows in my footsteps or not, that's totally up to him. Brexton one day will be his own person and his own individual, and if he wants to be a golfer, by golly, we'll help him be a golfer. You know, but if he wants to be a race car driver like his daddy, then more power to him. We'll give him the best stuff we possibly can, and you know, he'll only make it here if he wins races, though. That's my stipulation. He won't make it here if he ain't any good, that's for sure. I'll quit spending money on him long before that. Toyota might not, but I will.
All right, Mike, go ahead.
Mike Hembry, USA Today. Jeff asked my question, so I'll just ask you. You and Brad have babies in the same week. Can you see a time down the road when they go to the prom together, maybe, or?
Unless it's the MRO prom, they probably won't go to the same school together, just based off where I think Brad lives and where we live. But no, I mean, we obviously don't have a relationship, and may or may not ever. But you know, that's to be seen down the road. It's just we live two completely different lives right now, and you know, we'll take care of our son the best we can and put him in the best situations we can. But if he, for some reason, feels like he needs to go chase down Brad's daughter, then have at it, bud.
All right, we're going to have to take our final question from Kelly. Go ahead.
Not sure I can follow that. Kelly Crandall from PopularSpeed.com. Upon your return, you mentioned that your focus right now is the Sprint Cup Series, but as a driver who's run as many races as you have over the past couple years, now that you're back and you start getting in this rhythm, have you thought about how different or what the feeling will be to watch your truck and your car out there and you're not in it?
That's not going to be too hard. I mean, I've been trying to work towards the opportunity of watching my trucks run around the racetrack and have other drivers, you know, trying to further along their careers in my race equipment. So KBM is strong. I think it's as strong as ever. We saw that last year, and we see Eric Jones just being really impressive in it this year, obviously, and a lot of the things he's driven, he's been impressive this year, whether KBM or JGR. And, you know, obviously I'm proud of Suarez, too, and Justin Boston with the top 10s and top 5 finishes they've received. So, you know, the nationwide car, yeah, I'll probably want to get back in it. I'll have the urge to get going, but don't want to rush anything, don't want to hurry anything. You know, it still takes me a little longer than I'd like to get from point A to point B, you know, with the garage area. But my Skittles scooter would certainly speed up that process. So really appreciate them and hooking a brother up.
All right. Well, Kyle, we appreciate your time today, and we wish
Thank
you the best of luck
No
this
problem.
weekend.
Thank you.